Cardi B just went live and said the quiet part out loud, and I need everybody to sit down for this one because what came out of her mouth on that live stream was not confidence. It was not empowerment. It was a woman standing inside a mansion made of money, screaming at the women outside the gates, demanding to know why nobody is jealous of her. And honey, once you hear what Cardi B actually said word for word, you are going to understand why the internet has been side-eyeing her for months. Because this was not a live stream. This was a confession dressed up as a victory lap. Now I already know how this goes. Somebody is typing right now. Why are you always on Cardi B? Why do you care what Cardi B says on her own live? And let me answer that before you even finish the sentence. I care because Cardi B is one of the most famous women on the planet with one of the biggest platforms in music, and she used that platform to tell the world that women are supposed to envy her. Not respect her. Not be inspired by her. Envy her. And there is a difference between those three things, and the difference is the whole story. So let's lay it out, because by the end of this video, you are going to see exactly why Cardi B is spiraling, why the other women in Stefon Diggs' orbit want nothing to do with her, and why all the money in the world cannot buy the one thing she is begging the internet for. Stay with me because this gets worse before it makes sense. So here is what happened. Cardi B went live, and in the middle of that live she started talking about women. Women who, in her mind, are jealous of her. And you would think, okay, she is about to say women are jealous of her career, her records, her money. And she did say that. She said women should be envious of her because she is doing well. She said it out loud. She said the envy should be about her success. But then she kept talking. And this is the part where I had to rewind, because I genuinely could not believe a grown woman said this into a camera on purpose with her whole chest. Cardi B said the women are not envying her over her success. She said they are envying her over men. Over a man. Over, and I am going to keep it clean because YouTube is watching, over male attention. She sat there and explained with full sincerity that the women coming at her are not pressed about her money or her career. In Cardi B's mind, they are pressed about the man she was with. And she is offended by that. Not because it is untrue, no. She is offended because she believes the envy is pointed in the wrong direction. She is genuinely upset that the envy is about a relationship and not about her resume. Let that marinate for a second. She is not denying that she wants to be envied. She is correcting the category of envy she believes she is owed. Now, I want you to hear what she is actually saying underneath the words, because the words are the symptom, not the sickness. When Cardi B says, women should envy me because I am doing well, what she is announcing is that envy is the reaction she expects from the public. Envy is the baseline. Envy is the tribute. She is standing at the top of her little mountain looking down, and she is confused, genuinely confused, about why the villagers are not bowing. And that, right there, is the entire psychology of this woman in one sentence. Cardi B does not want admiration. Admiration is freely given and she cannot control it. She wants envy because envy is a reaction she believes her success is supposed to automatically generate, like a vending machine. She put the money in. Where is her envy? And here is the thing she cannot wrap her head around, the thing that is eating her alive and making her go live at all hours to argue with the internet. Nobody is envying her success, because nobody wants her life. And I do not mean that as a read. I mean it as an observation that the entire internet has been making for years, and she is the only person who cannot see it. Let me explain something about how this works, because this is where the math stops mattering for Cardi B. Success is only enviable when the person holding it looks like they are enjoying it. That is the whole transaction. That is why people envy. They look at a life and they think, I want that, that looks good, that looks peaceful, that looks fun. Envy is a review of someone else's happiness. So when the public looks at Cardi B, what do they see? They see a woman with hit records, with money stacked to the ceiling, with resources most people cannot imagine. And they see that same woman in her car, crying into a front camera. They see her crashing out on Christmas, telling the world the ghetto keeps finding her. They see her beefing with women, with blogs, with baby mamas, with strangers in comment sections at 9 in the morning, at midnight on holidays. They see a woman who has everything material and cannot seem to purchase a single day of peace. So when Cardi B asks, why don't these women envy my success? The public is answering her loudly, every single day. The answer is, because your success looks miserable. Your success looks like a full-time job of being angry. Your success comes with a side of public humiliation every other month, a man who will embarrass you on a schedule, and a comment section you cannot stop fighting with. Nobody is envying that, honey. That is not a life. That is a hostage situation with better lighting. And this is the part where Cardi B's whole worldview collapses, because she genuinely believes wealth is the finish line of human desire. She cannot compute the idea that some people do not want what she has. She lacks the range. And I am going to slow down here because this is the most important point in this entire video, And I need everybody to really get this. There are women out there whose entire dream is that the bills are paid. That is it. That is the dream. The rent is handled, the lights stay on, the fridge has food in it, the kids have what they need. And if a friend calls at 2 in the morning needing help, they can actually help. Some women want a little cushion for an emergency and a couch that does not hurt their back. They do not want the mansion. They do not want the diamond watch or the fleet of cars or the artisan furniture built by some famous woodworker in Italy. They want stability, and stability, once you have it, produces a kind of happiness that money past a certain point simply cannot add to. There are people whose wealth is measured in peace, in quiet, in being able to sleep at night without a scandal attached to their name. Some people's currency is spiritual. Some people's currency is time with their kids. And to a woman like Cardi B, who is vibrating on a purely material frequency, those people are invisible. They do not register. She cannot see them, so she cannot understand them. So she assumes every woman looking at her must be looking with hunger. But they are not looking with hunger, Cardi B. They are looking with pity. And that is the thing that is going to keep her up at night, because pity is the one reaction her entire persona is built to never receive. Now let's talk about why she is really on that live. Because this is not random. This is not a woman who just woke up with thoughts about female empowerment. Cardi B is in the middle of a very specific situation, and the situation has a name, and the name is Stefon Diggs. And if you have been following this saga, you know exactly where this is going. If you have not, buckle up, because the math here is about to get humiliating for everybody involved. Cardi B was linked to Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs, for those just tuning in, is a professional athlete who has allegedly been spreading his attention across a roster so wide it needs a depth chart. We are not talking about a love triangle. We are talking about a love polygon. And in that polygon are several women who have children by this man, the baby mamas. And these women have been, let us say, less than welcoming to Cardi B. They have not been rolling out the red carpet. They have not been kissing the ring. And Cardi B cannot figure out why. And here is where her live stream goes from sad to revealing, because she told on herself. She said the women are envying her over the man. That is her theory. In her head, the baby mamas are bitter because she got Stefon Diggs. She thinks this is about competition. She thinks this is about who won. She thinks these women are sitting at home heartbroken, staring at her pictures wishing they were her. Beloved. No. Let me explain to you what those women are actually upset about, because it has nothing to do with romance and everything to do with economics, and the fact that Cardi B cannot see it tells you exactly how far removed she is from normal life. Those baby mamas are not jealous of Cardi B. They are not in love with Stefon Diggs anymore. Most of them probably cannot stand the man. But here is what they do know. Stefon Diggs provides for his children. The child support hits. The kids are taken care of. Whatever these women think of him as a partner, as a man, as a human being, his role as a provider is the load-bearing wall of their household. Their entire financial structure runs through that man. And what has Cardi B been doing? Cardi B has been on the internet month after month, participating in and escalating the public humiliation of that man. She has been in the mix, in the mess, attached to every scandal, every allegation, every courtroom headline that chips away at Stefon Diggs' reputation, his marketability, his brand deals, his image. And every one of those headlines is a threat to the money those women's children depend on. That is what they see when they look at Cardi B. They do not see a romantic rival. They see a rich woman, whose own children will be fed forever no matter what happens, playing with their children's bread and butter for entertainment. Read that again, because that is the whole conflict. Cardi B's kids are financially bulletproof. Cardi B could disappear from the internet tomorrow and her children would never miss a meal, never miss a tuition payment, never miss a thing. So she can afford to treat this man's public image like a piñata. The other women cannot. If Stefon Diggs' career takes a real hit, if the endorsements dry up, if the checks shrink, the people who absorb that loss are not Cardi B. It is the women whose kids' lives run on that money. So when they look at her antics, they are not looking at her with envy. They are looking at her the way you look at someone juggling lit matches over your baby's crib. Get away from here. That is the energy. It was never about the man. It was always about the money their children eat off of, and Cardi B's inability to see that is not just tone deaf. It is a complete failure of imagination about how women with less than her actually live. And this is what I mean when I say there is a maturity gap so wide you could park a jet in it. There are women who, the moment they had children, folded their entire existence into those kids. Every decision, every dollar, every hour filtered through one question: is this good for my child? That is their whole operating system. And then you have Cardi B, whose operating system is, how does this look, who is watching, and are they impressed? Those two frequencies cannot communicate. There is no common ground. She is over here thinking the baby mamas are jealous of her romance. And they are over there doing arithmetic on their grocery budget, hoping this man's name stays out of the blogs. She thinks it is a love story. They are living a survival story. And because she cannot see their reality, she has decided the explanation must be the one that flatters her. They want what I have. Nobody wants what you have, Cardi B. That is the answer to the question you keep asking on live. Now, I have to address the other thing she said, because she said women should envy her success, and I want to take that claim seriously for a moment and examine what the public actually sees when it evaluates that success. Because this is where it gets uncomfortable, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. Cardi B holds the title, in her mind and in the minds of her most loyal fans, of Queen of Rap. And I am going to say the thing everybody says behind closed doors. It is the most heavily defended, least defended on the field title in music. What do I mean by that? I mean, when it is time to actually demonstrate the craft, the thing the title is supposedly about, Cardi B is never in the building. Put her in a freestyle and watch what happens. Put her in a versatile setting where it is just pens and catalogs and no producers, no writers' rooms, no handlers, and tell me with a straight face you are confident in the outcome. The people who have watched this industry for decades know exactly what a manufactured star looks like. They know what it looks like when a machine decides someone is going to be famous and then spends unlimited money making it true. The public is not stupid. The public watched the rollout, watched the ghostwriting conversations, watched the coaching, watched a woman who has been rapping for years still struggle to get through a live performance of her own verses without the backing track carrying her like a gurney. That is what the public sees when Cardi B demands envy for her success. They see a success they did not arrive at believing in. Fair or unfair, that is the perception, and perception is the entire currency she is trying to spend. You cannot demand that people admire an achievement they watch get assembled by a committee. That is not envy-worthy. That is a franchise. And before anybody starts, let me be clear about something because I know how this gets twisted. A woman living her life however she wants to live it is her business. Her body, her choices, her time, and nobody, including me, gets a vote on that. Every woman on this planet has the right to move exactly how she wants to move. But there is a difference between living your life and marketing your lifestyle as the standard, and then getting angry when other women decline to purchase it. Cardi B has built a brand on a particular kind of persona, and a lot of her fanbase loves her precisely because she validates a certain way of living. Fine. But you do not get to turn around and demand that the women who chose differently bow to you. That is not how this works. You cannot sell chaos and then be shocked that people do not envy the chaos. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to actually answer it in the comments because I am genuinely curious. When was the last time you looked at a clip of Cardi B and thought she looks happy? Not rich. Not successful. Happy. When was the last time you saw that woman at peace? I will wait, because I have been watching for a long time, and what I keep seeing is a woman with everything the world says should make you happy, performing unhappiness on a loop. The rants, the tears, the feuds, the holiday meltdowns, the constant, exhausting, never-ending need to respond to every single thing said about her. That is not the behavior of a woman winning. That is the behavior of a woman losing something she cannot name and blaming the audience for not clapping loud enough. And this brings me to the darkest part of the whole live stream, the part that actually made me pause, because it explains so much about why Cardi B moves the way she moves with other women. Think about what she actually demanded. She demanded envy. And think about what it means when a person needs envy from strangers to feel stable. Envy is not love. Envy is not respect. Envy is not community. Envy is the cheapest, most corrosive form of attention there is, and a person who craves it is a person who has decided that other people's discomfort is her comfort. That is a hole that cannot be filled. That is a bucket with no bottom. And when that person does not get the envy they ordered, they do not self-reflect. They attack. And have you noticed that pattern with Cardi B? The moment a woman does not fall in line, the moment a female does not meet her on her terms, does not validate her, does not co-sign her, that woman becomes an enemy. Not a person with a different opinion. An enemy. We have watched it happen over and over and over. There is a long list of women who started as neutral parties and ended up in a full-blown war with Cardi B for the crime of not applauding. That is why people say she is not a girl's girl. And that is why the label sticks no matter how many times her fans try to peel it off. A girl's girl can exist in a room full of women who disagree with her. A girl's girl does not need worship to feel safe. Cardi B needs worship. And when the worship does not come, out comes the venom, and then comes the confusion, the genuine confusion, about why women do not embrace her. Honey, you cannot demand envy in the morning and sisterhood in the afternoon. Pick one. Now let me go back to the money point one more time because I want to make sure this lands because this is the engine of the entire video. Cardi B has had more cosmetic procedures than most people have had dentist appointments. She has purchased, and I say purchased because that is what it is, one of the most polished faces in entertainment. She has the money, the homes, the cars, the staff, the jewelry, all of it. Every single checkbox on the material list is ticked. And by her logic, stated on that live, out loud, the natural result of all that should be universal female envy. It should be automatic. It should be raining envy. And instead, the comment sections are full of women saying some version of, I would not trade places with her for anything. Not for the money. Not for the fame. Not for the face. Nothing. And she reads those comments, and instead of asking herself the obvious question, why would a woman with less than me refuse to trade with me? She concludes the women are lying, or jealous of her man, or bitter, or broken. Every possible explanation except the real one. The real one is that those women looked at the full package, the money and the misery, the fame and the feuds, the face and the fear, and they did the math, and the math said no. Women are very good at this math, by the way. It is the same math the baby mamas are doing. It is the math every woman does when she looks at another woman's life. What would this cost me? And the answer when they look at Cardi B's life is, everything that matters. My peace. My dignity. My ability to sleep without knowing strangers are dissecting my relationship. My children's privacy. My sanity. That is the price tag hanging off her success, and women are reading it clearly, and they are putting it back on the shelf. And she cannot accept that. She would rather believe the envy is about Stefan Diggs, of all people, than accept that women looked at her entire existence and said respectfully, absolutely not. Think about how revealing that is. She would rather be envied for bagging a man with a whole roster, a man whose name is currently in court documents and headlines for all the wrong reasons, than confront the possibility that her success does not read as success to the very women she is demanding applause from. She picked the more flattering delusion. That is what people do when the truth is unbearable. And let me say one more thing about the Stefan Diggs of it all, because the baby mama's perspective deserves a full hearing, and nobody is giving it one. From where those women are sitting, they watched a billionaire-adjacent celebrity enter their already complicated co-parenting ecosystem and immediately make it worse. Louder. Messier. More public. Every feud Cardi B joins is a headline their children's father is attached to. Every crash out is another ding in the reputation of the man who signs the checks. They did not ask for any of this. They were living their lives, raising their kids, cashing the support, staying out of the blogs, and then here comes the most famous female rapper in America, turning their family's financial foundation into content. And she expects them to envy her? She expects applause? Honey, they are not jealous. They are exhausted. They want her to go be rich and famous somewhere far away from the money their kids eat off of. That is the whole story. It was never romantic. It was always a ledger. So to everybody in the comments who is about to say, you're hating Cardi B is winning, she has more money than you'll ever see, let me stop you right there because money was never the argument. Nobody on this channel, and no woman in those comment sections, has ever denied that Cardi B is rich. The argument is that she is rich and still starving. Starving for envy. Starving for validation. Starving for the one thing her whole persona was built to produce and somehow never does. She went on live and begged the world to be jealous of her. And the world looked at her life, the whole thing top to bottom, and said no thank you. And instead of hearing that answer, she is out here telling herself the rejection is about a man. A man who was splitting his attention 11 ways. That is the prize she thinks these women are crying over. The delusion would be funny if it were not so sad. And here is where I leave you because this story is not over, not even close. That Christmas crash out, where she told the world the ghetto keeps finding her. That was not an isolated moment. That was a preview. A woman who needs the world's envy to feel whole is a woman who will keep escalating until she gets a reaction, any reaction, because to her, being envied and being hated are the same currency. It is all attention. And attention is the only thing she has ever actually been rich in. So watch what happens next because the moment the noise dies down, the moment the blogs move on to somebody else, there will be another live. There is always another live. And she will say something even more revealing because the mask gets heavier every year, and her arms are getting tired. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I want real answers this time. 1. Is there anything about Cardi B's life that you would actually trade for, honestly? 2. Were the baby mamas wrong for icing her out? Or were they just protecting their kids' pockets? And 3. When a woman says other women should envy her, is that confidence? Or is that the loudest cry for help you have ever heard? I already know which way I am leaning, but I read every single comment, and the last time we talked about this woman, y'all called every single thing that happened next before it happened. Every single thing. So do not hold back. And if you are new here, you already know what to do because the next chapter of this saga is already writing itself, and when she goes live again, and she will, we are going to be right here with the receipts laid out on the table. Until then, keep your peace the way those baby mamas keep their ledgers. Guarded, quiet, and far away from anybody who treats your life like content. Much love, family. I will see you on the next one.